welcome to Global Asset Channel. Wow, it's already third month of the year, 2024. I can't believe it how time flies. I want to welcome you, all my followers, to this wonderful month of March 2024. The fact that you are alive and watching this video today means that God indeed has something in stock for you. It's not done with blessing you yet. It's not done with bringing your dreams to pass. So I want you to hang in there. Do not give up. Do not give up on your dream. Keep pushing until something happens. I want you to know that whatsoever is delayed now does not mean denial. Destiny delay is not denial. It might tarry, but it will surely speak and it will come to pass. I'm going to quickly use this opportunity to encourage as many that reached out to me that they were not selected in this New Brunswick program. I really want to say sorry that you were not selected. But one thing I want you to know is that there is time for everything. God makes time and chance happen to people. If you weren't selected, I don't want you to be discouraged. I want you to take it in good faith. I want you to understand what time and chance is in the diary or in the timetable of your Creator God. Having said that, I want you to be encouraged to keep pushing on. I will tell you a little bit about myself. Perhaps that is going to help to spur that faith in you. A little bit about myself, how I held in there until I saw what I wanted. Maybe that is going to help you. But before then, I want us to take a short break while I wait for you to subscribe to this great channel. Thank you, and I'll be right back. Welcome back. And like I said, I want to tell you a little bit about myself today. I've always said I'll talk about myself. I'm not so much a social media person, but now here we go. I've got assignment to talk to people, and of course, it seems I have no choice than to be a social media person. Little bit about me. People say they were born with silver spoon, and some say they were born with golden spoon. Others said they were born with wooden spoon. Lucky you. I don't think I was born with a spoon. You heard me. I don't think I was born with any spoon. And what does that connote? I wasn't born into a so-called rich family. Life wasn't too favorable as a growing child. But I thank God for my parents who, through everything, all the situation they went through, made sure that I got educated, gave me the education that I need to push through in life. I'm forever grateful to them. I'm forever grateful to those people. And so, after my graduation as a nurse in 2000, I worked briefly. And as you know, in Nigeria, if you don't have double qualification, my country of originality, if you are not doubly qualified, you can get a good job. And so what did I do? I worked briefly for a period of, I graduated in November. I went back to school in February 2001. 2000, I graduated 2000, right? I don't hold though. Graduated in 2000. And I went back to school 2001 February to do my midwifery. And upon graduation, I started my career first at Oriaifu Memorial Hospital, an orthopedic clinic. And after which I went to Faith Mediplex, the Church of God Mission Home Hospital in Benin. And while I was working at Faith Mediplex, it will surprise a lot of you. I was working in 3 jobs. 3. I was working at the Edo State House of Assembly, and I was working at one clinic, was privately owned by one doctor, a pediatrician at UBTH. He was a pediatrician, the wife was an endocrinologist. I worked there and I kept saving money. Then people will bring stuff for sale, they will bring gold, they will bring all sorts of things. I wasn't buying because I knew I had a focus. I knew I had a plan, you know. So I kept saving. I kept putting all my money together, My initial plan was not even to travel out. My initial plan for that savings was to go back to university and do my degree in nursing. So I was saving up. And then, after a few years of working as a nurse, I decided to start pushing to do my degree in nursing. Unfortunately, you and I, we know the way it works. Oh, it's not your turn. Oh, it's not your turn. You can't go in now. You can't go in now. Okay. Then I tried to get into University of Benin. They wouldn't offer me. They were offering me physical and public health. I didn't want to do public health. I wanted to do a degree in nursing. So I opted out. And then this opportunity came to go to the UK. And when I went to UK then, there was this visa, which was not really popular to a lot of people. It was called working holiday visa. Without working holiday visa, you work for 1 year and you do holiday for the second year. So what I did, after doing my work for 1 year, I asked myself, instead of wasting another 1 year doing holiday, why not go back and apply? Because in the UK, you cannot change your status within the UK. You have to go to your country of originality. Then I said, why not go back to Nigeria and apply for school? So before I left the UK, I applied to various schools. A lot of schools wanted me to do nursing all over again, which I wasn't willing to do. And the only school where I got BSc Community Health at that time was University of Sunderland. And so I rushed at it because I didn't want to go back to Nigeria with all those wahala. So I rushed at it and I went to Nigeria. Before I left, I told my employer that I was going to apply for a student visa and that if I get the student visa, I won't be coming back to work. Because, of course, my time for my 1 year period was expiring, right? So I went and fortunately I got the visa, got everything ready. I remember my elder sister asked me, have you resigned from your work? You should write to your manager. I said, oh, well, we are paddy. We know each other. He knows me. I've already told him I would be coming back. That was the mistake, big mistake. That was where I learned that in abroad, communication, like written communication, non-verbal communication, is the key. So, headed off, because school was starting in a week time. Then I headed off on September, I think the early week of September, because my school was going to start 27th of September 2009 now. So I went and I got to Heathrow Airport. I was refused entry. And what was the officer's reason? Because he didn't think I was coming to study. He didn't think I was coming as a student to study. And I said, what? I'm coming as a student. And he said, okay, what's your proof? Can we speak to somebody from your workplace? From my innocent mind, I gave him my manager's direct number, because this time it was just around 6 in the morning, because I boarded the night flight from Nigeria. And he called my manager, and lo and behold, my manager said, oh, Precious, we are expecting Precious back. She's a full-time worker with us. Ma'am, Migration came back and said, yes, we have confirmed our suspiciousness. You are not coming here to study. You're coming back to continue to work on your previous visa. I said, no, I'm not coming to work. My dear, story for the gods. I stayed there, tested my brother, who is also in the UK, and said, I've been in the airport, at the airport, and they are not letting me go. Oh, don't worry, that's how they just intimidate Nigerians. They will let you pass. 7, 8, 9, 10, nothing happened. Well, long story short, so I don't take all of your time, that was how I was transported to their deportee camp. But before this time, my uncle, who has lived in England for so long, over 32 years, tried to come and see me. No way, they refused him. And he told me, before you leave there, make sure you ask for a P fund, which I did. And so, got back, and the next day, I went back to Nigeria. I went back, it was like my world crumbled. It was like my world crumbled, like from going to school, the enthusiasm, the happiness, the joy, and the promises, everything were just like dashed. Like I was devastated. I was devastated. Like people kept calling, what's happening? Like my world crumbled. Hey. So I sat down there. Sometimes I will cry. Sometimes I will ask God why. I prayed. I did this. Well, long story short, I had to leave my sister's house at that time because she was pregnant and she was even worse than me. Like their level of crying was just too much. I didn't want her to get into the stage she shouldn't get into as a pregnant woman. So I left to a friend's house. My mentor, one of my mothers in school, at School of Nursing, I went to her house, and if you know Benin very well, I started working at a military base at Airport Road, because this time I'd resigned from Faith, I'd resigned from all my job. I went back, and then there was a guy that I met in church a Sunday before I traveled. We became friends, and little did I know that he was the medical director. So we talked, and I called him. I said, I need a job. I was like, oh, you UK paid. So how am I going to be able to pay you? Anyways, I started working, and I was being paid 25,000. From Henny Pants, I was being paid 25,000. I just wanted to be leaving home that time because I didn't want to slide into depression, right? So I went, and then I stayed. I was working. I was in their maternity section taking deliveries. It was awesome. So one day, my cousin called me and said, do you really want to work in Era? Do you mind going to Era? I said, is this question? I don't mind. That was how I miraculously got a job. Former CMD at Era was a boss and wanted somebody that he could recommend, and I was the person. I went, actually thought I was going to get a form. I got there and I got unemployment straight away. So while I was at Era, I had to quickly file my appeal against the UK Borders Agency. Because if you don't file that appeal within 28 days, then it becomes null and void. So I filed in my appeal, and we went to court. My uncle, God bless you, Uncle Jude Aye, God bless you, my brother. My uncle special, God bless you. I want to use this opportunity to appreciate you for your wonderful work. I love you. Thank you for standing in for me at the court, but for you, I wouldn't have been able to graduate as a BSc nursing. Nurse, sorry. Yes, he went to the court and he stood in for me, and the rest was history. I won the UK Immigration Borders and Immigration Agency. I won them at the court because I had my evidences against them, and through the grace of God, I won the case, and they were asked to reinstate my visa because they cancelled the visa. They cancelled my visa. Cancelled it and said, boom, boom, put their stamp, cancelled. So I won the case, and they were asked to reinstate my visa. I waited for 1 week, 2 weeks. While I was waiting, remember I told you initially that I applied to BSc Community Health Nursing. While I was waiting, my pastor then in Dundee, Scotland, called me and said, hey, I thought you said you tried to apply into BSc Nursing at University of Sunderland, and you didn't get, and they didn't have it. I know somebody that is coming from Nigeria, and she's actually doing the course this year. And I called my school, my program leader. I said, hey, I just heard that you guys are offering this course this year, and I'm wondering if I can just change. And she advised me and said, don't change anything from your country. Get into school first and change it. Because if you do, the immigration might use it against you again. So I obeyed her. I followed that instruction, waiting for them to reinstate my visa, for where they refused to reinstate it until I wrote them a stinking letter, and I demanded that they reinstate my visa as ordered by the court, or I will sue them for damages. That I will let the 1 year they already wasted on the ground of assumption go. But for if they do it a second year, I won't let it go. I was going to file in for damages. Man, 2 days after, I got an email that my visa was ready. That was how I got into the UK. Did my studies to the glory of God, graduated with a first class in BSc. And at that time, the program leader was so like, no, nobody gets a first class in this school. Nobody gets a first class in this school. I wasn't even looking for first class. I was looking for a certificate to say that I graduated as a BSc nurse. That was all I was after. But to God be the glory. Self-sponsored though, because I didn't want to bother my parents. If I told my parents I was going back to school, my dad was like, eh? I said, Daddy, don't worry. All I just need is your blessing. The rest, I will do it through the help of God. And I worked and I studied, and God crowned my effort with huge success. I graduated, and to apply for postgraduate study, I told myself, you will not do this online. You have to go in person, because I knew they were waiting for me there. So to apply there online was just like £500. To apply in person was 1,000 plus. I said, I will not, because of like £600, jeopardize my 2 years of work permits. Prayerfully, I went for studies. I went for the visa application. I will not bore you with other stories because time is really fast spent. The reason why you need to hold on, the reason why you need to stay put, the reason why you need to keep pushing is what I'm telling you. A lot of people knew I traveled, but they did not know this part of my traveling history. A lot of people knew Precious have been abroad for a very long time, but they did not know. They do not know my struggles. They do not know how I was deported. They do not know how I went to Irua. From being abroad to being in the village and being a village nurse, with due respect to people living in the village, it is a place to live. I enjoyed my stay at Irua. Fantastic people to work with, great head of department, great matrons. They were fantastic people. But what I am saying, from being in the UK and working and making pound to going back to Irua and making how much? So when it was time, I went. Since I started this video, like in the morning, I didn't even eat that day. I was fasting. Trust Nigerian people. I was fasting. I was kabashing. And I went. By the time I got there, I was like the third person on the queue. Oh boy. Everybody that I came after, that I came before, left. And I was there waiting. I said, God, do not desert me. Do not leave me alone. At this point in time, I've spent all my money to pay school fees. If they send me back to Nigeria, I don't even have savings. I was there praying, and I saw one Nigerian man walking up and down, carrying a file, up and down, everywhere. I was like, what is happening? Why are they not calling me? And after a while, that same man that has been carrying this thing file up and down called me. My mind went fear. Hey, my mind was like, what's happening? Is it a yes or a no? This man has been walking everywhere. So little did I know that that was the person that got planted at that center to be my advocate and fight for me. Hey, this God there. Don't joke with him. Oh, hey. So this man called me and said, have you had any immigration issues with immigration officers before? I related the story as I've been saying since. And he said, yes, I just called them. I just called one Fletcher. The lady that was on top of my matter, her name was Fletcher. And she said you couldn't really talk about how you were going to pay your school fees or sponsor yourself when you were in school. I said, sir, since we started talking, you have spoken with me for like 10 seconds or 15 seconds now. Do I look like a dundee or a moron? I explained everything and I told the man this was what happened. And the man said, don't even worry. In fact, you've made me proud. I'm going to make sure that they give you this paper. I have told them that there is no way they are not giving you this visa. Hey, I said, Jesus. I was in between tears and the tears of joy. I was like, is this how you heard God? This man said, I've asked them this simple question. You said this girl was not coming to study and she got a first class. She graduated with a first class. What if she was coming to study? What would she have done? Carried your school? Were your students, your own British children, were they not in the same class where she graduated and as a first class person, as a first class student? Were they not there? So based on the fact that she has proven you guys wrong, that she was actually coming to study, she did not just study and pass, she passed gallantly. So you guys have no choice than to give this to this girl. Hey, at least I guess more hope now that something was coming for me. And he said, go and sit down, you are getting it. Thank you, sir. I went to sit down. But 15 minutes later, the man called me and said, here is your paper. You will get the plastic, because then they used to have a plastic. I don't know what's happening now. They used to have a plastic to say this is your temporary stay and your work permits. Hey, the man gave to me and now educated me a little bit that next time, if you apply for a visa and one was granted, make sure you tell the issuing officer to cancel the old one, or else you might experience problem as this. I say, how does this concern me? That somebody did not do their job well and cancel the old one before giving the new visa. How does it concern me? What do I even know? So, my dear, that was how I got my post-study work permit in the UK. Worked for 2 years, and when time was going and the only other option I had was to go back to school and do a master's, I told myself, no, it's time to move. So as I applied to the then federal skill worker, because then it was federal skill worker. You know, I told you before that there is what they call express entry. Before 2015, it was a federal skill worker. So I applied, and to God be the glory. Canada said, we need you, precious. Even if UK said they don't need you, we need you. Come over to Canada. They gave me permanent residence. And that was how I came to Canada in 2014. So why did I tell you this? I have told you a little bit about. I just have to cut it sharp, like prune it up and down so that I don't take your time. It's already past 20 minutes. I don't like keeping people for this long. I have told you this to let you know that when you dare to push, when you get optimistic, when you hold God at the hem of his garments, like that woman with an issue of blood, he will come true for you. When he sees your hard work and your determination, he will sure come true for you. At this point, I want to say thank you so much for listening to me. I hope it wasn't a boring one. And again, as I will always say, if you have watched this video to this extent, that means it was surely a blessing to you. Please encourage me by subscribing, by watching, by liking, and by following. The reason for this is that, apart from the fact that the more subscribers I get, the more watch hours I get, then I'm going to start getting paid by YouTube. I don't get anything from you. At least YouTube should pay for the services that I'm doing, right? Not you. Apart from that, it will also make YouTube to recommend my videos to people who are also in need of videos like mine. Put on your notification button. Please watch, please like, please share, so that will make YouTube to push my videos forward to people who want video as this. Once again, I want to say a very big thank you to all my followers there. I want to say thank you, my wonderful families. I want to say thank you, my wonderful friends. I want to say thank you to all my returning followers. And if this is your first time, you're welcome to Global Asset Family. On this channel, the word is raw. We give the truth in its raw state. If you are looking for a place where people will bamboozle you, this is not the right channel, because I don't bamboozle people to get them following me. I tell them the truth the way it should be. Once again, thank you for watching, and I hope that one day your dreams will become reality. This is that girl that was repatriated from the UK in 2009. Stayed in the UK for 8 solid years after being repatriated, and I've been in Canada for another 8 years. So I want to say, you can become what you want to become. The only thing you need to do is keep pushing. Have a great day.